I can tell you that what would be an absolute deal breaker for us is that we would not accept, as Liberal Democrats, under any circumstances, the cuts to nurseries and schools and colleges, to education, that both the Conservative and the Labour parties have now announced. We would not accept that under any circumstance. That would be a deal breaker. We would insist that there is a proper protection for the money going to nurseries, schools and colleges in any parliament of which the Liberal Democrats are a part. And if we don't get that, we wouldn't enter into the coalition in the first place.
But both the Conservatives and the Labour Party have pledged to protect education spending. So how are you going further?
Because they haven't. They're just basically fibbing to the British people. The Conservatives have said they'll keep funding in pace with the increase in pupil numbers, but they won't increase it in line with prices. And Labour have done the reverse. They'll say they'll increase it in line with prices, but not with pupil numbers. There are 400,000 youngsters, new youngsters, extra youngsters, that are going to come into our education system. So by the end of the next Parliament, you need to do both. And only the Liberal Democrats are now saying that we'll protect funding from cradle to college. We've put it on the front page of our manifesto, and the Liberal Democrats will not enter into any coalition that doesn't guarantee that that money, that protection for our education system from cradle to college, from nursery to 19-year-olds, is not protected.
How much more does that mean you will be spending on education compared to the Labour plans or the Conservative plans?
So in pounds and pence, it means that by the end of the next Parliament, per year, we would be spending £2.5 billion more on education spending than the Labour Party, and £5 billion more than the Conservatives. That is a significant difference. In total, we would be spending roughly, in total, about £55 billion on our education system, and both the Labour and the Conservative parties have confirmed that they will spend less. I think that is wrong. The Liberal Democrats believe in, beyond everything else, in the need to spread opportunity across society. And you can only do that if you continue to invest in, not cut, the money that goes especially into nurseries, preschool support, schools and colleges.
Extra spending on education presumably means that for non-protected departments like defence, like the police, that means your pledge on education will mean more cuts for those departments.
What we believe is that if you want to get this balance right of wiping the slate clean for the next generation, balancing the books and doing so fairly, is first you've got to do it on time, in a timely fashion, not string it out like the Labour Party want to, which ironically means actually you preside over many more years of cuts than under the Liberal Democrat plan, but also that you ask the wealthiest to pay an extra contribution through the tax system. And that's why we are asking the wealthiest, those with the broadest shoulders, to pay a bit of extra money through the tax system to help balance the books and ensure that we can put money into our public services, into our nurseries, into our schools and into our colleges. Neither Labour nor the Conservative parties want to do that. Labour wants to stick its head in the sand and won't tell you when they'll balance the books by, and the Conservatives won't ask the wealthiest to make any additional contribution. Only through a balanced approach can you finish the job of filling the black hole in our public finances, but also invest in public services.